Good afternoon and welcome to our November 2014 Tips and Tricks training webinar for SendMyAd. Today we are going to talk about a feature that you may not have enabled in your ad portal called AddCreator, but we'd like to show you one of the features that's possible. And so we'll give you an overview of that. We'll take you through a demo to show you how it is to use that. And we'll also talk about trimming ads. There's some questions you may have about that process, and we're going to take you through a demo. We'll show you the options and demonstrate what those different preferences do. There's one very important difference in there, and then there's a new. It's a small thing, but there's a new thing in the interface that might help you clarify for your users how they should respond to a trim problem. Just a little housekeeping today. For our meeting, there's a Zoom button in the upper left of the screen, which you might want to use to expand to see all of my display as I take you through the demo. We'll have time for questions at the end, so feel free to ask any questions in the GoToWebinar client software, the control panel, and we'll sum those up at the end, and I'll try and answer whatever you might be wondering about. And with that, let's move on to our demo. Okay, AddCreator is a feature that we've developed that allows you to offer a new kind of service to your advertisers, which is basically just to allow them to create simple ads. And so I think what I'll do is I'll give you a demo to show you how that works, and then we'll get in behind the scenes and I'll show you what a template looks like and how you get that configured in SendMyAd, what your options are. So we won't cover everything, but we'll do enough that you can get a sense of what this feature does. I did that too fast, probably. If you don't have this feature, this is something you haven't seen. Under Actions, I am logged in as an advertiser right now. I have the option to send files, which is what they typically see when they send their files. But there's this new option to create an ad. That takes us to AddCreator. You have some ability to change the text that you see over here, and I'll explain that to you when we log in as a publisher and go through the options. Let's select one of my options here. I have various templates that are uploaded. I'm going to select a very simple one. The upload form or the file submission form, the top part is very reminiscent of what you'll see when the same advertiser comes in and uploads a print ad. So you can configure this just like with the print ad submission form. And so some of these you can hide or show if you want, okay, and they can make them optional or required. But the real interesting thing here is this, and this is the creation form. And you can see that there's a correspondence between the fields that are in the ad template and my form submission form fields over here. Okay, so at the very top, I've got an image. You can have multiple images, and you can do a lot of different things with your templates. This one is I've tried to have as simple as possible. So we've just got a few fields, and we've got an image. So we upload a file, and that file is a JPEG or a TIFF. And there's some very basic positioning options here. So I can move this around just with my mouse. Okay, I can center it in all directions. I can nudge it with these. Okay, I can also do a fit to frame. It does a small pre-flight during the upload. So I can see that my image is scaled at 100%. It is at the resolution I want, which is 300, and it's a CMYK image. So all that's good for print. Let's hit done. And now what we'll do is we'll dynamically begin to assemble the ad. So there's my image all in place. And now I can start to fill out my text. And it's a simple matter. You can just tab between these fields and quickly do this. You'll notice that as I type, the characters left will change. That's a dynamic thing. So you can very quickly now create this ad. And you'll notice that these lines have different styles. Those are picked up from our template, which we build in InDesign. Okay, so when I'm happy with this ad, I will simply submit to the magazine. And as an advertiser, we have kind of a specialized workflow here. You can have publisher approvals, just like you do with your print ads. And you can also use the specific workflow that was developed for AddCreator ads. So in this case, the advertiser has the ability to change their ad after the fact. You can also lock this down. So once they've created it, the only thing that they might see up here is this request changes. And so if they click that, then they're able to say what they want changed. And the idea is that the ad is kind of locked down. And the publisher will have to make those changes. So that will trigger an email to the publisher. So some publishers prefer to really keep pretty tight control of this, and they want to make any edits. Or again, you can open it up and allow them to make those changes themselves. Okay. All right. So very simple from an advertiser perspective. Let's log out. Oh, sorry, I will just point out one other thing, and that is that we treat these as print ads for the most part. So you'll see that they can just view them along with any other ads that they've uploaded right here. So, okay, I'm going to log in as the publisher who would have received this ad. And again, under print ads, I'll find my ad right there. And here it is. I have a few other options. I have the same ability to edit the fields here. I can change the image. I can either upload a brand new one or reposition it. So it comes back to that same editor here. Now, you also know that we had a requested change from our advertiser, and you'll see here in the notes that that's where that goes. It can also trigger an email, but it's also stored right here. So I, as the receiver of this ad, can go ahead and do that. Now, you can also have this very fluid change, notification, edit cycle here. So I could notify the sender that I've made their changes, or, hey, my legal department doesn't agree with this thing. We have to change something, or, hey, did you notice that your phone number may not be right? Whatever you need to tell the ad creator. And then you can also change the status of the ad and return the ad to the advertiser for approval. And that just simply means that, you've made some edit and you want them to review it. So they'll get their notification, they'll go in and they'll look at it and they'll say, yep, it's good, approve it, and send it off to you again. Now let's say that we're happy with this. My change was made here, went from subhead to subtitle. Let me approve the ad. And what we do here is just like with a print ad. We finalize it, we inject our XMP data into the file, we create an ad receipt, and we will deliver it. And you can have those ads be delivered to your choice of FTP servers or what have you. You'll also see that we have the same text data here, but it's no longer editable. If you decide that there really was a mistake here, I need to go back and edit this again, even after I've approved it, you can reject the ad, and again, it'll be editable. You can change it, do whatever you need. You can go through those approval cycles again, whatever you need to do, but the ad is there, it is editable, and when you're done with it, it's treated just like a print ad and delivered however you wish. Okay, let's talk about how we get to that point. I just want to show you, I have in InDesign, I have a template that is very similar to what we saw there. And it's just a matter of creating your text boxes, giving them different styles, and setting this up. Now there's some conventions that we need to follow, and we typically help you set up at least your first template as part of the process, because we do have some conventions you need to follow in order to get it to work correctly with AddCreator. Now, once you have that file along with any preview images that you want, you can upload it and associate it with an ad size. So here was my publication, and I'll just show you what that looks like here. So I've got my quarter page ad is what I was calling that. You'll see up here there's this edit ad creator template, or if it's a new template a new ad size that has never had an ad creator template, it says add, and you can browse to your local file system, find your preview images and InDesign template, and upload those. That'll take you to the edit ad creator screen right here. So what you can do here is you can give a label to all of the you can give a label to all of those fields, and you can also do some not pre-flighting, but some control over what the user puts into those fields. So a very typical thing is to require or not require. So very often a subhead may not be required, but of course you want a headline, you want the body copy, and you want the contact information. If you decide to require a field or not, you can specify the minimum number of characters and the maximum number of characters. So if they start typing and they're going to put something in, it has to be 10 characters or whatever, or you want to cap it because you don't want somebody pasting in their body copy into the headline, and then you've got a problem there. So you can do that. You can also set certain fields to be publisher only, which means that you'll see them in the template generally, but they won't have an edit field for them in the ad creator form. So that's something that you then go in and do. So maybe you have a special code that you put in at the bottom of the slug of every ad or something. You can do that. And then you can make fields visible or not. So if you just don't want them to even see that a certain field it has editable text. You can just remove that from view. You can also give help text. So if they're not sure what you're intending to go in those fields, you can further explain those. You can provide upload instructions for the images. Down here, we give you a preview. And we're also able to create a HTML version of your ad. And if we do that, then you should probably supply a CSS file where we try to match your styles as closely as possible in the web version. So there are quite a few options there, as you can see. And under your company profile, there's some general settings for AddCreator. So again, you just go to your company profile, just like you would configure your general site settings or your print ad settings. And you just go to AddCreator settings, and here you can say that you want customers to have the ability to create ads. You might turn that off if maybe this is an in-house operation. You can do that. As you saw, I was able to, as an advertiser, to edit the fields in my AddCreator ad after I created it. You can turn that off, and that typically is defaulted off. You might want to brand this as something else, so I put in here AddCreator Standard. It can be whatever you want it to be. You can allow users to send ads that have failed the pre-flight. So, we look at your print ad settings for what you want for your resolution. But if you will take lower quality ads, you might want to warn them that, hey, there's a problem with your image, but maybe it's not as important for these types of customized display ads. And as I said before, you can manage what's on the upload form. So some of those fields can be turned on and off. And you can also create your own set of custom metadata that belong just to AddCreator ads. Okay. So that's kind of the whirlwind tour of AddCreator. Obviously, you can do more complex ads. It can sometimes take a while to get the templates set up exactly the way you want. So there is, again, it's kind of a back and forth with us and support as we help take care of at least that first set of template ads for you. But it's a nice way to be able to create maybe back of book ads, pretty typical, where you've got a standard layout, but somebody needs to come in and supply their text and their image. But you're trying to maintain a consistent look in those ads. So that is AddCreator. Let's move on to trimming ads. And we'll actually start here in the screen where we are right now. And we're going to take a look at what options are available for trimming. I think a lot of people don't actually realize that you can control some of this stuff. There's not a lot that you can set, but it's important. And the main thing here is keep excess margin data when trimming. And the best way to really demonstrate that is to show you the result of trimming the same file with that on and with that off. So the setting keep excess margin data when trimming. What we do here is we just simply we set the trim box inside the ad, okay, and we leave whatever else was in the file. So we're basically just repositioning the boxes so that you come in with a file that's maybe off center. It doesn't match up exactly in the spec. So the advertiser can move it around. They're not able to resize it. I'll come back to that in a moment. But they are able to reposition the ad within the ad size and hit trim. And when they do that, we simply reposition the boxes and we allow it to move forward from there with a proper trim size. Now, if I turn that off, then what we do is we create a file that looks like this. And here what we're doing is we're actually trimming the file. We're putting a trim box in, and we are chopping the file physically. So if we do that, we then allow you to have the ability for the user to scale. Okay, I would say most people probably are just doing this, where we're keeping the excess margin, and then you don't have the option to scale. Okay, but that's what those two do, and that's what the difference is in the files. We have an option to show a pop-up before launching the trim tool. So here you just simply supply what this is. So if you want to give a basic help, or maybe like a warning that, hey, you're about to possibly edit your file, and you're responsible for this, not us, that's where you can put that. So let's go in and just take a look at our ad. Now this is the same file that I had before, and I'm going to hit Edit Ad. I've already had a trim warning here, but this is what it looks like. And because I chose the option to not just set the boxes, but to actually chop the data, I do have the ability to scale the file. Now that becomes possibly a little dangerous, and the reason for that is right after we allow the user to trim their file, we then pre-flight it. So now this ad doesn't really match up the ad size exactly, but it's good enough for our purpose now. You can see we actually go through that same pre-flighting process after we trim. Now, if you allow your user to resize the file, if they have images that started off as marginal quality, when they resize them, they may no longer meet your requirements for the resolution. And so that's why we go through and we pre-flight, because they might have crossed a threshold in your settings for what you want with image resolution. In this case, it was fine. There's no warning to that effect, and it does allow me to approve and move on. Okay, let's upload a fresh ad, because I want to show you a couple of the options actually in the trim tool and what it looks like when you first go in to process the file through trim. Okay, this is a small file. It won't take us long to get there. There's an option in here that some of you who are using the trim tool already might have noticed as an option that you don't see. And there's another module that allows you to edit the file. And what we mean by that is we can give you the ability to create text and position it in the ad. So a typical thing is maybe you put, maybe you put your own identification code on the bottom, or maybe you do like reader service numbers or something like that. It's just a way for you to be able to quickly put a simple line of text somewhere and position it in the ad. And that is part of that edit tool or trim tool. Okay, so you'll notice that it comes up with this suggested action, and it wants to take us right into reposition the ad. Now I'm doing this as a publisher user. So this advanced editing that I was just speaking about, that's available to me as a publisher. A user never sees that. Sorry, an advertiser user never sees that. Okay, well, let me just put in a let's make that a black line of text, and let's drop that down at the bottom. Okay. Now, a few quick things. You can zoom in and out on your view. You got a pan button there. You can use the zoom in a certain area. The arrow to move things around, move the art around. Okay, so we can move the screen, move the art. The art can be moved here by nudging it with the arrow tools, or you can you type numbers here if you want. Okay, again, it's nothing that really matches up perfectly here, but for a demo, it's fine. Let's reposition and pre-flight there. And now when this comes back, we should see our reader service number that I put in. And that should be all set for us. Now, there's one option that I wanted to show you, and that is, this is new. We just put this in our last update. It's a very small thing, but if you look under your print ad settings, there's an option here for default suggested action for ads which fail trim size. And as we saw, our button said, reposition ad. However, we have another option that's called auto center. And this is basically, it does exactly that. It automatically centers the file on the ad size. So if you feel that works well for most of your customers, you can make that the default setting. The other thing that you can do is simply make no suggestion. So if you do that, then what you'll see is in here, you'll get that warning that your ad is incorrect. You'll get the option down here to trim the ad, but here in suggested actions, it's not going to highlight anything. And that's just a way for you to promote one tool over the other, or kind of make them read the warning that's there in the pre-flight, and actually have to make a choice. Do I want to auto center this? Do I want to reject it and submit new art? That's something that you can do. So both the AddCreator module and the trim module are things that are in part of your contract. They're separate items that you would need to talk about. Most of you have the trim tool in your ad portal. AddCreator is a totally separate fee for that. So if you have any questions, I think that concludes our demo. I do see one question, and yes, there is that text editor option that we had. That also is an extra option. It's something you'd have to speak to your sales representative about for the fee for that. And there was a question about delivery for AddCreator ads. Those you set up just like any other delivery location. So you go to a delivery destination, and they are considered print ads. And so you just set up a print destination just like you would anything else, any other type of print ad. And after they're completed, you'll see that you can send them that way. Or you could create a specific location just for those. So anyway, I think that wraps up our demo. Thank you for joining us today. And if you have suggestions for next month's tips and tricks webinar, we'd be happy to hear them. You can send them to me, hrandall@sendmyad.com, or talk to your sales rep, or open a support ticket, however you want to communicate with us. But we always try to highlight stuff that maybe you haven't seen, extra options that you might not know are even there, and new stuff. And we just had a fairly large recent update, and we're constantly putting new stuff in the site. So anyway, thank you very much for joining us. See you next time.